Okay, everyone, so the university's made its decision, and I feel like Peng's up here trying to give you all a massage and make you feel better and make you feel good. We're going to be doing classes online this semester, which is really terrible for me. I really prefer to have classes in person where we can talk together and get to know each other. And I really wish that we could get to know each other in a closer way, because online classes, you don't get to meet me and talk to me. Maybe you're happy, maybe you're like, yes, I saw, no brazer. But I'd really like to get to meet all of you. It doesn't matter if you hate English or if you love English. I'll try to help you equally. And make you, have a fun time and hopefully improve your English level this semester. But we're going to do it online, and we're going to have a YouTube part of the class, and we're going to have a speaking part of the class some weeks. Some weeks will just be YouTube, but I'll always tell you. So just listen carefully. This week we're going to do like 30 minutes here on YouTube, and you can write in some answers for 30 minutes. And then we'll have a 40-minute Zoom class where you can practice your speaking this week. So everybody, don't worry. There's this part, and there'll be a Zoom part, but I'll make it too short, so it makes the full 2 hours of class time that we should have, okay? So just if you don't see the video beforehand and you just come to the Zoom class, it'll just be speaking practice, and hopefully you know all the words already, fingers crossed. If you've looked at all the words and the grammar, then speaking class is going to be super easy, and it's just a chance for you to get to meet your classmates, talk together. You've met once, we're going to try and meet a few more times before the end of the semester so that you can make friends. Everybody, I really miss you, and I'd love to have a class together, and I'd love to teach you. I prefer face-to-face classes. So I'm sorry, and I want to say thank you for doing a great, job so far this semester. You've really done well, and it's been a pleasure for me to teach you so far. So I'll see you soon, okay? Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to Communication in English. We're going to use the textbook today. Now, today's class is going to be a little bit different, because just like Peng Su up here, he's giving everyone a bit of a massage, trying to give you some love. I know that you had to do your midterms last week, except for one class who is still going to do theirs, or one day. So I just want to make this class a little bit different. I want you to try to practice your speaking today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload this early so that you can look at the video, know the words that we're going to use today, and maybe you'll understand the grammar and things like this. And then in the second part of class time, I'll do a Zoom class. So half the class will just be like practicing beforehand, half the class will be doing speaking practice. Now maybe some students don't see this, or they don't do the work before we start the Zoom class, but it's okay. It's a chance for you to have a chat, say hello, ask questions, and just practice your English just for like 30-40 minutes each week for the next couple of weeks, because I really want you to practice your English, and spoken English for me is the most important. Now today we're going to do something a little bit different. I've got a little bit of a warm-up for some classes because as I say, we have one class that's slightly different. This warm-up is just going to be for you guys, just to practice your English. Now I'm going to give you a simple puzzle, and you just have to go to Google Drive and just try to find the answers to the puzzle. And the idea is it's all about syllabus stress. Syllabus stress is where you focus the pressure, the sound of the word. And the idea is you're going to start at one part and you're going to try to get to the end. So it's just a little puzzle. So I've given you a very simple puzzle that you can follow. And here it is. You can see here, we start at this one and we want to get to finish over here. Now we're looking for 3 syllable character traits. So we're looking for the stress on the middle part of the word. So it's going to be like So that part is the stress that we're looking for. So if we start here, dishonest. So dishonest. So when you say it, you can see that the stress is there. So, oh, that's very dishonest. Dishonest. So you can see that's the stress. So we want to get from here to here. So at the end, we have impressive. Impressive. So you can see it's 3 syllables. The stress is on the middle one. So we want to try to get from here to here. So what I want you to do is I want you to say the words out loud and listen to your pronunciation and try to find the one with the middle part of the word with the stress is like the So remember, dishonest. I'll give you another one. Popular. Amusing. I gave you a lot of hints there. But as you can see, you want to focus on the ones that have the correct stress. Now, you just go like up, down, cross like this. You can't just jump and jump and jump and jump and jump and jump. So I want you to try to go down in a logical way, like follow the way around, and then you'll get to here. It's just for fun. It's just to practice your speaking, and it's just a little bit of a warm-up. Now, you might be a bit like, Morty up here, and you're like, I don't know, it's so hard. But it's okay. You can just practice and just try your best. Now, just do as much as you can, and we'll be okay. So let's go. I'll pause it here. You can just practice for a couple of minutes and try to get the answer. So, hi, we're going to do smartphones today. Today's topic is really, really easy to figure out, to understand, to do. So you don't have too much to worry about. I just want you to practice your English and say as much as you can. Also, there'll be a little bit of grammar and vocabulary, things like this, but as we know, smartphones are easy. Now, I've made some discussion questions, and these questions are going to be to ask your partner. Now, for Tuesday's class, this is a supplementary class. You are going to do this by yourself because it's the holiday week and other students are doing their midterms. So just try to write your own answers down. It won't be as fun because it's just alone. Later on we can talk about smartphones when we do like a conversation class again. But for this week, just write down your answers. Most of them are really easy questions, like how often do you check your smartphone? What make of mobile phone do you have? Now, I come from England. We always say mobile phone. Some people in America say cell phone. A lot of people say smartphones. So we can mix them all together. We all know that you mean the phone that you're going to have and you're going to take around with you. So we know that's the meaning of smartphone or mobile phone or cell phone. So it depends on where you're from. Do you think there is much difference between makes and or models of mobile phones? Which do you think is the best? Easy questions, just give your opinion. How important is your mobile phone in your personal life? Do you have a monthly plan and is it expensive? England is a little bit cheaper than Korea, but the service is better in Korea because everyone's close together, so 5G is everywhere, whereas in the UK it's not. Young people are said to be developing much more mobile thumbs than the thumb, this one here, than previous generations, precisely due to their extensive use of text messaging, so sending like Kakao Talk and instant messages. Do you think you've become more dexterous or skillful? Do you think you're pretty good with your thumbs? Are you an expert user, or do you have to look at each key? So when you're typing your messages, do you have to look carefully, or can you just... It's like a machine gun, right? You can do it like that. Next on some of the worksheets, there's different questions. I made 3 worksheets with different questions. Do you think that mobile phones should be barred from certain areas, which areas like, supermarket or cinema? Do you sometimes switch off your mobile? When, where? What do you think of people who take calls during meetings? Do you always switch off your mobile when a plane takes off or lands? Do you put it on flight mode? What would you do if somebody was using it during that time? Would you tell someone? Some people claim that the radiation from mobile phones causes brain damage. What do you think about this? Do you use a mobile phone while driving? What is the law in your country about this? Like, do they give you a fine? Is there cameras to catch you? Like, how do they do it here in Korea? In the UK, we have a lot of cameras to catch them. What is your opinion on hands-free mobile phones? So, like Bluetooth connection, hands-free, you don't have to touch it. You can still talk and take phone calls. Video conferencing like Zoom is now commonly available on smartphones. How often do you use it? Do you like watching videos on your phone? Which one? Where do you watch most of them? Is there a special app that you like YouTube? When do you connect to the internet on your phone? It's a good question because I think I'm on my phone all the time and always on the internet. Oh, what internet features do you use? So, like what do you usually do? You can say web browser, it's okay, or if there's banking app or something. Do you use a messaging application? Of course. How often does it take for you to reply? So some people reply really quickly, like send a message and instant reply. Do you send and receive many messages? Or do you get a lot of message and just send one back? Do you use any special language for mobile text that you don't use in normal language? You know, is there any slang or special words that you use? Maybe just ki or he. Do you read your email on your phone? Yep. No? In your phone? Is it on there? Mobile phones come with many different operating systems, you know, Android or iOS. Is there any difference, or, you know, do you have a preference about them? Like, you can talk about that. And what other apps have you found useful? Like other apps, have you ever paid for an app? And do you think banking apps are useful? These questions we're going to practice together, but for Tuesday's class you'll have to write down the answers yourself, okay? The rest of you guys, we're going to practice in class time. We're going to turn to the textbook. And we've warmed up, we've done a little bit, and now we're going to try to do our textbook, which is page 66. So today we're into chapter 7. So it's all about phones. Now you're going to have to read through this passage in a second. So you're going to read through and we're going to try to answer 1B and 2A. So first of all, there's some words in there that are keywords. So we'll go with the first one: keep in touch with, catch up with, congratulate, respond to, gossip, inform their families of, persuade, reported, commented, contact, explained, reply to, criticize. I ran out of fingers, but no problem. So as you can see on here, these words are all to do with things that you maybe, you know, see on social media and with your smartphones. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to read through about Smartphone Lifeline. Now they're going to talk about some topics in here, and we're going to try to answer 2 questions. The first question is just choosing the correct sentence. So look at the textbook and choose which one is correct. 2 choices. The second part is about the vocab, and I want you to try to put them together. So the idea is you're going to read it and then put the words with the similar meaning. So, you know, respond to has something that's similar. Mention or report has 3 words similar. Keep in touch with, similar. Criticize, persuade, something similar. So first of all, what I'd like you to do is to read it, and then I'd like you to try to answer B and 2A. So let's go through the answers. The first one: for migrants, a messaging app is often a fun way or the only way. Correct one is the only way for people to communicate with their families. Next one: charities now provide charging stations or messaging app. And the right one is that's right, charging stations. So they provide charging stations. Now we're going to go on to the second part, and the idea is you're going to try to put them in a group together. So one word that's like respond, reply to. So they're the same. The next one: mention or report, comment, inform of, or explain. They're all similar words. Next one: keep in touch with, contact, catch up with, criticize and persuade, congratulate and gossip. So all of these words match together with the ones that are in the textbook. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and do the back of the book. So in this case, you'll go to the back of the book, and you can see here there's a little text where you have to fill in the blanks. So we're going to try to fill in the blanks. So pause me now. And you ready? So just fill in the blank with the correct form. Now you might have to change it a little bit, but it might be okay. So the first one: a good thing about social media is that you can read a post and then comment on it. People might then reply to your comments. Number 2: I use social media to congratulate people on their birthdays and to catch up with my friends. So you can see that. I never gossip about people's private lives or criticize people on social media. That's not nice, and it's also unfair. Good person. That is the right one. You shouldn't do that. And the last one: it's hard to persuade somebody to use social media if they don't like the idea. You can explain why you like it, but they probably won't care. So remember, persuading, talking to people to try to make them feel or like be the same way as you. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to conversation time. Conversation time is when you're going to talk together with your partner, more free topic way, and you're going to talk together. Tuesday's class, unfortunately, you will be doing this. Okay, so I'm sorry, you'll have to do this by yourself, or you can ask a friend. So if you want to, you can ask your parents. You can ask your family, your friends. But for people in my class time, Monday and Wednesday, we're going to do this and talk to our partners. Now, if you want to write down an answer, it's okay. But the idea is you can get to practice your speaking. First one, how often do you keep in touch with people far away from you? Who is the greatest distance away from you? So my mom is thousands of miles away. So that would be for me. So do you have family in Busan, or do you have family, in Seoul or in America? Like, who's far away, and how often do you keep in touch with them? When did you last congratulate a friend on something? What was it? New jacket? Maybe it's their birthday, so congratulations, it's your birthday. What kind of thing would you say? So those are the first ones. Next up, when did you persuade someone to do something? So persuade them, like, oh, Fraser, I think you should not do long class today. And then Fraser's like, yeah, that's good, I'll make it short. I hope so. Next on, what do you think about celebrity gossip? So people talking about famous people, like gossiping about them. How often do you comment on social media? Now, most foreigners will say social media. In Korea, most people say SNS. So I understand if you say SNS, I understand if you say social media, but the common way is social media for other people. So how often do you comment on Instagram or Facebook? How often do you catch up with your friends these days? So how often do you catch up with your friends these days? And how do you feel about anonymous comments on Facebook and Instagram, or every time? Like student apps. How do you feel about anonymous comments? So let's talk together, and we'll do that now. So take a pause, and then let's go, because some of you don't need to pause. We're going to go on to the next part, and the next part is the grammar, which is very similar to page 66. I think we're on page 67, I hope. And as you can see here, the grammar is all about reported statement. Now, direct statement is when somebody says something, and it's, things like, for example, in the text, they said the app allowed me to contact my family. So that's a direct statement from that person. They are saying something, that's what they said. Now, a reported statement is telling others things you've heard or you know. So, for example, there's 4 examples in the text box. I'll go through each one. So it says, one new arrival explained that the app allowed him to contact his family. So as you can see at the top, it says direct statement. The app allowed me to contact my family. That's what he said. That's the direct way, the direct statement that that guy said. When we do reported statements, we say it from our perspective, what we heard somebody else say. So for example, we did the first one. The second one, some immigrants commented that WhatsApp had eased their sense of isolation. So as you can see, allowed and had eased, these verbs have been highlighted. Next one, Greenpeace recently reported the use of the stations had increased greatly. Their families persuaded them to buy a smartphone. So as you can see, we have a couple of different things, but everything is in the past, some form of the past tense. Okay, so you can say allowed, had eased, had increased, and persuaded. When we use reported statements, we're talking about something that's already happened that people have said, and most of the time we use. Now we're going to go to page 67 and we're going to try and choose the correct answer first. So there's 4 sentences, and you just have to think about which grammar part we're using. So first sentence, second sentence, third and fourth sentence is looking like the same as in the textbook that I just read. So I want you to choose the correct answer for which tense. Which one is the correct one? So pause me now. Let's go on to the first one. So to report a present tense statement, use the. Now remember, even though somebody said it in the present tense, we're reporting it. So we're going to use the past tense.
So remember, allowed. For example, like that. All of them were some form of the past tense. To report a past tense statement, use the, so remember, they said had eased. So in this case, we're using the past perfect. Have or has and the past participle. The next one, to report a present perfect statement. Had increased? That's right, it's a past perfect. And to report instructions and suggestions, use the past plus the pronoun, negative or not, to and the verb, so the infinitive form. So their families persuaded them to buy. So to buy there is right there, or suggested them not to buy, depending on which way you're doing it. So as you can see, all of these are very simple. Hopefully you followed the grammar, but we're talking about a reported speech, like, when people are saying things, and we're going to use the past tense. Now, there are other ways to do this, but for today, we're just going to use this. So I made a couple of questions. I just want you to talk to your partner. Again, for the Tuesday class, you're going to have to write down your answer or ask a friend. Ask your brother or sister. It's okay. So go. And let's get on to the next part. Now we're going to do part 4. And part 4 is just from the textbook. I just want you to look at the questions and just check which one is for you. So I use messaging apps for practical purposes only, so only for messaging. You're like, yes. I use them for all kinds of communication. So you might do voice calling on maybe Kakao Talk, you do face calling, all these kind of things. I use them for work. If I really miss somebody, I prefer to call them. True or false? Maybe not. I don't use them. Having contact with people far away makes me miss them more. So maybe you don't want to remember how far away they are. I only use written text. I don't like leaving voice messages. So you always do this. You don't call or leave a message, or even just soundbite or short things. I only use messaging apps to call people. Texting is too slow. So maybe you think Kakao Talk's too slow. Call them quickly. So just check and talk to your partner. So we're going to do this in class time. For Tuesday's class, just check it down. Now, what I did was I made a very simple quiz, kind of survey, kind of things. And I just want you to talk together, ask a partner, ask a couple of family members. As I say, Tuesday's class is going to be a little bit different. But for the rest of you guys, you're going to have some questions here. And all I want you to do is I just want you to just chit-chat together, talk together, ask a question, write down an answer. One of them is your answer. The other ones are for your partners that you're going to talk to in class time. So don't worry. There are slightly different questions. As I say, I made 3 worksheets. So you can see there's some here. So you can ask the questions to your partner, and it's okay. F to F means face to face. All right? So some of the simple questions are, how often do you text? Instant message. Who do you text the most? Who don't you text? How do you prefer to communicate? Speaking or phones? Do you prefer text or speak face to face? Who is appropriate to text? Is it okay to text, your professors? Yes, no, maybe not. What social media accounts do you have? Why do you think people like to do things on there? Communicate. What do you usually click on? So when you go to Instagram, Facebook, or the internet, maybe some message board, what do you like to look at? Is it do you click on people's photographs or videos, trending topic, or meme? Now a meme is a picture like this one. This is Success Kid, and he's like, yes! And it's when you do something, and you can see the text on here. This is a meme. So it says, ate spaghetti while wearing a white shirt, no sauce. So many times when you eat food, your food drops. So this is yes, success, I did it right. Western people use these all the time. I know there's a lot of Korean people, and Korean ones are the same. And you just change it into Hangul when you do it. So they are there. So that's a meme, a funny thing that people post. What clickbait do you enjoy? Animal videos, celeb gossip, or quizzes? Clickbait means you see a picture, and you're like, oh, I want to see it. So maybe it's your favorite actor, and he's or actress, and they're stood doing a cute pose or doing something. So you're like, wow, I need to see that person. I really need to do it. So that's what clickbait is. When you click, because it's got a cute picture or a nice picture, and that's why you're doing it. You don't read anything, just click, wow, it's my favorite, like it's Manchester United, or it's IU, something like this. In this case, text is used as a messaging app, like instant messaging, anything like that. So don't worry about text. So ask your partner in class time. Tuesday class, you'll just have to ask a friend or a family. Try to write, 2 other answers and your own answer. So now we're going to go to page 68. And page 68 is talking about true or false statements. So there's 3 things that you have to look at for true and false. It's at the very top. It's a little bit of a dialogue. Just read through it, try to understand it, and then try to answer the 3 questions. And then say true or false. So the first one, it says millennials prefer digital communication except at work. Millennial is somebody who is born around that time, because that means that when they grew up, they were in the millennials like this. That's what I believe is the right one. Next on, older people felt that text messages are professional enough for work. All age groups reported using text messages to communicate with other family members at home. So I'd like you just to pause me now, read through it, and then check which ones are true or false. So pause. And let's go through. The first one is false. The study showed that millennials prefer digital communication even at work. Of course, everybody just wants to be text messaged, on their smartphone. Next one, false. Older people felt that text messages weren't professional enough at work. That's a generation difference. Young people, instant message click out, okay. Older people, they don't like it. And the last one was true. So as you can see on here, we're going to go back to the page 147 just to ask a couple of questions, because the vocabulary is good. There's a few words on here that you might need to know. So at the bottom of page 147, there's a list of words, and we want to try to match it together. So if you look at it, there's clickbait, geotag, like location, hashtag. I asked you to make a hashtag. Hashtag flags, hashtag A+ for Fraser, like that. We have livecaster, like a BJ, like broadcaster, looking at their daily life, like vlogging or livecasting it all. Lurker means somebody who hides around on the internet. Meme, I told you. Newsfeed, like storyline. Podcaster, profile, status, update, tag, timeline, trending, and topic. So what I'd like you to do, just pause me now and try to put them into the right ones. There's extra words that you'll use in the other part, but we're only going to do A. So pause it, and let's go. Number 1. Part of the website that updates to show the latest news is the news feed. So that's what people say, like, Facebook is their news feed. Number 2, a podcaster, puts stories online. Number 3, update, for their status update. Livecaster, someone who puts everything about them on social media. Clickbait, people to click on particular links. So usually like a cute picture, or like something that you see, like, wow, free money, click, and it's not real free money. The next one, trending topic, things that are on social media that become popular. Your profile, biographical bio of who you are. And last one, add someone's name or post a tag, you tag them. So tag, always tag when you're adding people like that. So again, question time for class time. We're going to do these questions, so we'll talk together. Do you ever lurk on message boards or websites? Which of your friends post too many stories on newsfeed? Like, who's too active? Look at your friends on Kakao's Talk now. So look at your friends. And who has an interesting status update? Just have a look and then say, what is a trending topic these days? Do your friends ever tag you for things as a joke? So maybe it says, Liverpool, I love Liverpool, and then somebody hashtag, like, tag me, like, Fraser loves Liverpool. So you tag Fraser next to it, and then people be like, oh, Fraser really likes Liverpool, like this. But it's a joke, bad joke. What is a good hashtag search to find food in this area? So in your hometown area, what do you type? Like, not just match but what kind of things do you look for, do you search for? And do you listen to any podcasters? Is there anybody online who you like to listen to like that? So if you're at home, ask yourself, your brother, your sister, anybody. In class time, we're going to do this now. So I'll just pause for a second, and let's go. It's break time. Howdy everyone, spring break is over. No, we're on spring break, take a break. So you're all taking a break, everything's okay, so let's go on to the next part. Hopefully it was all good, your break, you know, watching TV, drinking some milk or soju or something. Next on. There's a lot of emojis and text talk in the world. So many that it's hard to teach them all. Now, emoji is like a smiley face over here, like we have our emojis. And then we have text talk, which is just shorthand versions of this. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to try to figure out what is the meaning of them in English. Some of them say bad words, so I won't teach you the bad words, but these are the top 10 for things that people try to find. I added FTW and BAE, just because they're common, you know, internet talk and slang talk. So the rest of them are things that people always use in text messaging and talking. So some of them you'll know, some of you might not. So try to write down what they mean. So if you look at ROFL, each one of them is a word. What is the word? And then you can write down the meaning. All of these on here should be okay. So I'll give you a short, minute or two. Find them on the internet, cheat. But try to use your brain first. Brain is always the best first. So go, go, go. Okay, so let's go through each one. RFL, rolling on the floor, laughing, like that. Rolling on the floor, laughing. Shut the up. Now, some people change this letter for H, so shut the hell up. But again, it's not really the best English, so, shut up. But most people would say shut the we put freak here, okay? To make it okay. The next one, LMK, means let me know. I love you. Next one, YOLO, you only live once. SMH means shake my head like, oh, terrible. Phrase are terrible for saying I love you, right? Next one, LMFAO means laughing my freaking off. So freak again, bad word. A is ass, so it's okay. Some people like laughing my ass off. That's okay. It just depends whether you put F in there, which is a curse word or swear word. Never mind. This time not one each, but this one's similar. I know, right? Of course. FTW for the win. And the last one is BAE. BAE is somebody who you love a lot. It means before anyone else, like I do anything for you. So hey BAE, people think it means baby, like she's my BAE, she's my baby. But it's actually like she's the one that I do anything for. So if you're my BAE, it means I love you a lot, and I'd do anything. If I could help you, I'd be there. I'd be your knight in shining armor, this kind of thing. Another word that a lot of people say these days is flex. And flex means to show your money or to show, your good lifestyle. So we have a lot of things where we flex. It comes from flexing your muscle, like showing your muscles and how strong you are. But then it's become to show how rich or affluent you are. So a lot of people say flex, all right? We flex. So what we're going to do is we're going to just practice these, and I've tried to make your worksheet so that you can use a few of the words on your paper. So you can see here, there's some that is more like a quiz question, there's some that's just an asking question, so I'd like you to talk to your partner. For the students who are here on Tuesday class, who are doing this as a supplementary class, just write down your answer, okay? And then you can write them down. There's different questions. Let's go on to the next part. The next one is page 72. And what we're going to do is just look at the reading and just try to answer a couple of questions. So it's not going to be too hard. It's all about emojis. And you just have to do a couple of questions. So the first one is, what are the main arguments? Like, what does one doctor, Dr. Patel, say? And what does Professor Yilmaz say? So different people, one's a doctor, one's a professor. So you can see what are the arguments. And then C, it says there's 3 questions. You just have to answer them. It says, why does Dr. Patel think modern communication symbols are the same as language? What comparisons does he make? Why does Professor Yilmaz claim emojis are not language? What does he think of emoji menus on smartphones? And what do the two professors agree on? What is their shared opinion? So pause me now. Read through it. You've answered the first one, the two arguments. So the first argument, Mr. Patel or Dr. Patel says, emojis communicate ideas, so they are a form of language. Whereas Professor Yilmaz's argument is they aren't sophisticated enough to be considered language. It's too basic. So smiley face doesn't convey language. It's just, too simple. So one is saying yes, one is saying no. If you haven't done it, pause me now, and then we'll do C. The first one, their message is immediately clear. He compares them to body language. So that's what Dr. Patel says. Number two, because they can only communicate simple emotion and opinion, not complex ideas, he feels that emoji menus cause laziness, like simplicity, too simple for people to do things. Next one. Both of them agree that hashtags are not a form of language, but they unite people around an idea, but they do not communicate the idea. So they agree on something in the end. So as you can see, all is okay. Okay, everybody, now what we're going to do is we're going to go and look at the writing part on page 73. And 73 is just looking at two kinds of emails, very different in their writing style. And what you're going to do is try to just tell me what is the difference between them. So we're going to try to look at the two, email A and email B. And I want you to try to answer, part A, part B, that kind of thing. And the first part is just looking at the two of them and saying, when would you use them? What kind of email is it? When would you use it? The second part, we're going to look at some of the differences and we'll say what is the main differences between them. So we're going to just do A. So, who would you send it to? And then we'll look at the differences. So pause me now. You've read it, you've had a look at it. Make sure you pause me if you need to. But you're going to have a look at it and you're going to say, so the first email is something that's very informal. It might be written to a friend or a family member, because you can see, there's lots of cute faces, kisses, hamburger emojis, it's easy. But the second one is formal. It's got a more serious tone and it's written to your coworker or boss. So as you can see, they're very different. What are the main differences? Well, informal informal elements in email, for example, use of abbreviations, use of emojis, incomplete sentences, and lots of punctuation, like a lot of question marks like this to show a big point. Whereas in B, there's dear in the greeting, there's full sentences, no exclamation points or punctuation like that's extra, more polite tone. Does that time suit you? Like these are things that are in there. So as you can see, there's a difference. One is informal for friends, one is formal. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to try to do C and D. And C is just trying to find the matching meaning. So the informal, very boring meeting, had a formal matching one. I have a meeting all morning. So I have okay with you and speak soon. I want you to try to find the matching part for that. And then D is just try to check down which one is for formal and which one is for informal. It's kind of easy. So you'll write down in there which one is appropriate for an informal email. And you have some choices and just think which one would you talk to a friend about. So pause me now. And let's go through the final part. So the final parts are really easy, right? Okay with you? Does that time suit you? Speak soon? Looking forward to speaking with you. So as you can see, they're easy, right? They're just ways to find the one that's matching with it. The next one, D. Which one of these do you think? What do you think? That's right. So for formal email, I would say like C, D, and F. Maybe B and or E, depending. But, when you're talking to a friend, informal email, all of them are okay. Gossiping is okay, your health is okay, changes at work, scheduling meetings, free time, questions about a work problem, you can ask them anytime. Whereas C, D, and F, definitely for formal emails. B and E, depending, because something might happen and they might ask about something, so you need to answer it. So great job, everyone. Now, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to write a short email to a friend talking about university life. I want you just to use emojis and text speak from today's class. Just write down a short message. So for Tuesday's students, you'll have to write that down. For for also the other students on Monday and Wednesday, you need to write that down. Just write a short one just talking about university life or homestay life, depending on where you are. But that's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you just to write a short message about that. Now the final talking time is when we can go home. Make 3 questions to ask about online communication. Ask your partners. Do part B. Part B? You're like, where's part B? Part B is on page number 74. So the last part is just to do a little survey together. We can do that in class time, in the Zoom class that we're going to have, no problem. But for the people who are not taking class today and have done this early, which is Tuesday's class, just make a couple of questions to ask people about, online communication. It's just a survey to ask a couple of questions. So don't worry too much. Just try to make a couple of questions. In class time, in Zoom class, if we have time, we'll do it. If we don't, then we don't. So it's okay. So pause me now, write the answers, write some questions. Now it's time to go home. And that's it for today. I know you're all super tired. I know it's all, difficult news to hear about the school and everything like this. But everybody's doing a great job. I'm going to focus so that we can have more speaking time every week. So we'll have some kind almost every week of speaking time. And I want us to have a lovely time and a great semester together. I know it's been really weird, but the university's made their decision. We're going to be doing classes this way. I'll try to make it as fun as possible, and I care about you, so I want you to have a good time and I want you to have fun. So that's it for today, everyone. I'm going to see you in Zoom class, Tuesday's class. Next week we'll have YouTube for a short time and a video class together. So everybody, take it easy. I miss you all. I really hope to see you one day, and I hope we can have a great class. Bye bye.